So I hope this today will be a very energetic, lively day for us. Thank you, Dr. Bathy, for inviting me again. It's really my pleasure. From the Philippines, we say maraming salamat. From the region where I came from, we say Diyos mabalos. So to officially start this, I'd like you to please stand, okay? This room is very young and energetic. Say hi, hellos. Come on. This is like Team A, Team B. Come on, shake hands first. We're here. Like, come on, guys. Go around, go around. You know, my talk is all about brand interaction. So I'd rather start in such a way that you'll be interacting with each other. Difficulty, but we'll be rolling, okay? So, give me a ho. How do you say hello? How? How the Carabao, di ba? 210, whatever. Okay, so, okay, before I officially start, because this room is young, correct, sir? Do you feel young? Oh my God. That's not the young answer, and that's not the young energy that I'd like to get, okay? So, because we're all young people here, okay, oops, wait. Okay, there. There you go. We want to be very active, correct? Are you on social media? Does your boyfriend, girlfriend know that you're attending today? Okay, let them know, okay? So, what I want you to do, if you feel like posting something, make sure it's in a public setting, because you know, what's the point of posting something when it's only me? It's your personal diary. We're on social. We're talking about youth marketing. I want you to be very active online. Please post, share, or tag. Don't forget, aside from tagging Dr. You can see here for Twitter. Are you active on Twitter? Do you tweet a lot? Do you post a lot on Instagram? But you only post on stories. Okay. For marketing, stories is not that good in such a way that it fades unless you put it in your highlight. Okay? So please do follow and post. Help us. Help yourselves as well. Why I want you to use these hashtags? You'll never know how it can open opportunities for you. There was a time that just because I keep using hashtags that are being promoted by different networks, by different brands, suddenly I receive an email. Hey, we'd like to invite you. Hey, we'd like to send you this. And I'm like, okay, why not, right? So please, by using these hashtags, you're also opening up a lot of opportunities for yourself. So you might be wondering, who is that lady, you know? She's so pretty. Ang ganda. Ganda is beautiful in the Philippines, okay? So I'm from the Philippines, okay? Do you think I'm pretty? Of course, I also think I'm pretty. That's why I'm positioning myself as pretty to you. That's what basic marketing is doing, correct? If myself is my product, but I'm too expensive, you can't avail me, you can only aspire for me, right? So, marketing for me is all about personal marketing as well. The moment you stand up, the moment you are in front of a crowd, you need to stand out, correct? So now, as you can see here, you're all young people. If I'll be the hiring officer, you need to stand out in front of me. If I'll be hiring my brand officer, you need to really prove your point and make sure that you stand out. And how you will do that. So for me, in my case, I did not work for large corporations. My primary background is all about homegrown brands. I find more meaning, at the same time challenge, in building brands rather than maintaining one. I find it too boxed when there's already a global brand penetrating local markets. So what I do is, okay, hey, what's that? Let's build something out of that and make it a homegrown brand that can bring back something for the community in a direct manner. So I know it's all about youth marketing. Are you interested about youth marketing? Right? Because youth is the future. And actually, youth is now. Because our world population is getting younger and younger, correct? So we're dominating the world. Regardless of your nationality, it's all about our age bracket, okay? I usually get my energy from the crowd, that's why, okay? Oh, good morning! My God, okay. Please, okay, be active because it's all about marketing. So as you can see here, it's about being promdy and proud. In the Philippines, when we say promdy, you're someone from the rural area. In such a way, when I was growing up, it has a bad connotation. It means you won't be world class. You'll just be there. It's more of like you're not capable of competing with those from the from the urban areas, from the mega cities. So it became, I'm very stubborn, I'm very competitive in such a way that, no, I'm gonna prove to you, I don't have to leave my kampong. In Malaysia, they call it kampong, rural area. In the Philippines, we call it bukid or probinsya. Kaya that's why we call promdi. That I'll be able to make a name for myself and for my community without even working for MNCs. There's such a career in working for homegrown brands and building homegrown talents, okay? So that's why I started to use the hashtag Global PromD. Again, marketing with youth starts with yourself. If you're able to build a vision for yourself, you're also able to inspire the community to believe in that vision. Any personal marketing effort that you're doing would be easily translated to the brands or to the company that you'll be working for, okay? And you'll be working with. I'd rather work with a company than work for a company or for someone, okay? So, I graduated my bachelor's degree in communication when I was 20 years old. By the time I was 22, I was already a marketing manager for a hospitality brand. And that time, they were undergoing corporate rehabilitation. They just basically hired me, but every time I send proposals, the president would approve it. Finance would say, no budget, no budget, no budget. How will you do your marketing with no budget? With 0 peso. 0 INR, right? So what I did is to capitalize on the relationships that I've built. I capitalized on the people I knew back in college. That's why, remember earlier, I told you, be friends. Start interacting, not because, oh, maybe this will be a future superstar. Maybe this one will be a future anchor, might help me. No. Just be open in networking without thinking what that person will bring to you, but rather thinking what you can co-create. Maybe now, maybe in the future, maybe later. You get what I mean? So that's basically how I was able to manage to work and live my lifestyle. When people ask me, what do you do? Yusuf was even asking me, what do you do? I just said, I'll summarize it in 2 words, inclusive growth. Because maybe today you're seeing me as this, as someone speaking in front of you. Maybe later you'll see me dishing out plates. Because I can be OC, I can do different stuff. I don't mind doing the task that needs to be done, regardless of my position. There was even a time, Havaianas, the flip-flop brands. They're selling it for 1,000 INR, right? And people would just say, it's just flip-flops. It's just something for your soul. I was able to handle that for South Luzon in the Philippines. I was basically handling different states, if you will call it, here in India. So what happened was, when I was handling Havaianas, 3 things that really popped into my head in terms of brand marketing. You have to be very clear what you're communicating so that people don't buy your product but buy the vision, the promise, the emotion that goes with it. And for Havaianas, when I was their brand manager at 21 years old for that specific area, it's all about fun, function, fashion. So every time I go to the office, it should be fun, function, fashion, right? So 3 Fs. That's what Havaianas is selling. They're not selling flip-flops. They're selling you fun, they're selling you function, they're selling you fashion. That's why you get to leverage the product. The product is not just what you're paying for, okay? So when people ask me, why is it very expensive? Because you're paying for all its marketing expenses. Okay? So I love brands the same way I love being here now and being able to inspire you. And as you can see earlier, I was like tweaking my slides because initially this wasn't supposedly it. It was supposedly, the content was supposed to be more of for professionals. But I hope through my storytelling efforts, you, all the youth here, and the feeling young ones would somehow get a new perspective on how an individual, a young independent professional can do something for the brand and for the community, okay? So, aside from my profession, I also do love blogging. I started blogging in 2014 when I was going through my quarter life crisis. You know what happened was, after I built and rebuilt the marketing efforts of that hospitality brand, I told my boss, I went to his office, to the president's office, "Sir, I want to talk to you. Why?" And then he said, "I think I know what you want to say. The moment I hired you, I already saw that there will be a time that you won't want to leave this company." And I told him, it's not because of any professional effort, but it's because I think I want to explore what I can do. So he told me, "Okay, I'm going to give you 2 months. Do whatever you want for 2 months. Just meet me again by June." That was March. "And tell me if you really want to be on your own." So for the past 2 months that I was still hired but on vacation, I built my own brand, Soul Searching Soul. You see, even for your quarter life crisis, you make something out of it. So that when people in the professional world ask, "What did you do?" you have a perfect excuse. "I blogged." Right? Really? Because in the professional world, if they see that you have a gap year, they'll start questioning your credibility as a professional, your ability to be able to push through with the project. But if you have that perfect excuse and it's a branded excuse, "Excuse me, what did you do?" I have my startup. What is that?" "My own blog." You got what I mean? You have that leverage. So I did that. So Soul Searching Soul, it's not a dating site, okay? It's a blog. It's a blog about making a difference one chip at a time, because I always get that question. "Oh, so it's a dating site because of Soul Searching Soul." No, it's about finding yourself and making a difference one chip at a time. So I'm also here as a marketeer, not only of products, but of a country. Incredible India. Do you believe it's really incredible India? Oh my God, I won't believe you with that answer. So if it's say, Incredible India, you claim it. Incredible India. You give energy, you give passion, you give emotion. That's why when It's More Fun in the Philippines was launched in 2012, I'm not part of the Department of Tourism, but I was like, "It's more fun in the Philippines," you know? And people started to say, "Hey, were you hired by the Department of Tourism to do this and do that?" And they just said, "No. I just believe in the vision of the brand. I just believe in that message." And so I was able to embrace it and really communicate it. Again, the most effective marketeers are those who are not just good in talking, but really showing and at the same time influencing the people with the kind of energy or emotion that your brand is trying to communicate. Okay? So if you say it's incredible India, how would you say it? Because for me, it's more fun in the Philippines, right? There's really the fun. So I focus more on positive stories and messages. Yeah, there's still some terrorism acts. There's some recent news about blast here and there. But I just focus on positive stories. We can still talk about the negative things, but then again, know your own market, know your niche. So that's my niche, promoting the Philippines in everything that I do, and on a global trend, in such a way that I've interacted with different international leaders. at the same time learn from the different speaking engagements that I had, I would summarize the global trend into this word. My personal brand is also about acronyms because it's easy to remember, right? So my acronym for the global trends that I'm also focusing on is SITE. It's all about sustainability. It's all about inclusiveness. It's all about technology and most of all empowering education. Because I noticed most of the time when people talk about marketing, they talk about technology, 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 artificial intelligence. Sorry, I have to say this, bullshit. You know why? We haven't even capitalized on the human potential. Yet we're spending a lot of money developing artificial intelligence. Why don't we capitalize on adaptive intelligence of human people, of the young people? And what I mean by adaptive intelligence is this. When I was growing up, all I wanted to be, the first profession that I wanted is to become an engineer. Every time people ask me, what do you want to do? I want to build tall buildings. When I was in elementary, there's a home economics, I started to earn money from making a traditional snacks. I said, okay, I'm gonna take business course all throughout until high school. But then, the moment I was in my senior year, just a month before graduation and filing my papers for university, I watched a film, Children of God. It's an independent movie. And so I told myself, I want to create a movie as heartwarming as that. I erased my university application course. I changed it to communication. That's the nearest. We don't have a film making or a film course. And while I was taking my communication degree, I was still venturing into some businesses. That's why I told you, right? The college, the business of, the College of Business students would go to our class and ask for help because they needed someone to create their brochures, flyers, commercials. And even when we're still in university, we're already earning. I'm already earning by a few hundreds. So you don't just focus on one thing. I think most of the time when people look at the youth, they feel like our generation is going here and there. They find it crazy that we're not just focusing on one single path. Because our generation is all about personalization. Our generation is all about really knowing what I want for myself. Doing what is genuinely good for me and for my community. It's not all just follow this track. For example, before I came to India, I've watched some Bollywood films, right? And one of which is the most, for me, especially for my group of friends, popular one is Three Idiots, which says that the common profession that Indians would have would be engineer, doctor, lawyers, right? That three profession. But now, it's not those three tracks anymore. You're trying to, fight with your parents, correct? Oh, see, you're rebellious, okay? So what we want to do here is to give you empowering education because again and again, whatever technology that we produce, we need empowering education so that we can fully utilize that as well. So focus on adaptive intelligence. Focus on capacity buildings. I'm not saying that AI is useless. What I'm just saying is, it became so much of a buzzword that everybody would like to capitalize on that and forgetting 90% of the human aspect of marketing, okay? Marketing 7 deadly sins. They say, based on We Are Social Research, a company from Singapore, these are the 7 deadly sins of marketing. But I'd like to focus on this: insensitivity and selfishness. Insensitivity in such a way that they're already grieving. For example, in terms of branding communication, Coca-Cola, they have open happiness, right? So imagine if that's your message and then suddenly you keep serving Coca-Cola in a wake. How can you open happiness? So I feel that's why they broaden it to become taste the feeling. So that even if my boyfriend broke up with me, you can still drink because you're tasting that feeling, okay? Rather than open happiness, you just throw the bottle away. Okay, so insensitivity and selfishness. So what we can do, when people talk about youth marketing or the future of marketing, they keep talking about millennial generation. But I'd rather talk about the M generation. It talks about us, not only the youth, but everyone who was already so addicted to their mobile phones, right? Would you be the same person that if you leave your phone, you're still comfortably seated here? Definitely not. You feel like your phone is already part of your life, of your body. And you feel as if you're PWD without your mobile phone. So we're highly connected. We're always on the go. It's always me, my mobile. You try to personalize it from the screen, from the cover, right? Even if they release the same unit, you'll definitely find a way to personalize it. Even the apps. So what I'm saying here is this. I'm not a marketing graduate, but this is the industry where I am, professionally. And when people ask me, how come you're into marketing when you're not even a marketing graduate? Maybe my 9 years of being a peer counselor and the volunteer at the guidance office helped me a lot. In terms of facilitating knowledge, in terms of facilitating people. So while marketing graduates would talk about the 4 Ps, the 7 Ps of marketing, I talk about the core of marketing, of everything that is marketing. It's all about the people. It's not just about the platform. And in the Philippines, the way we work with different organizations, we have our 8P, which is passion. I work with different companies, brands that are passionate, not just to make a profit, but to really make a difference. They may be a social enterprise or they may be a socially responsible business. And for the big brands, we're trying to influence them so that when they penetrate our local communities, they're more aware that this is not just going to be profit. This is not just about the product that they're trying to offer. But more so, at the core of their marketing effort is the people, okay? You have your phones right now, right? What are you doing with it? Aside from social media, are you learning beyond the classroom? Are you trying to reach out to people that you can collaborate with? Use it. I won't be here in India last year if they didn't find about my profile. I specifically even asked, how did you find about my profile? Did somebody recommended me? Because I never applied for any job. Most of the time, somebody would recommend it. So you let your passion, you let your output speaks for what you're doing. And then let that people around you or those who believes in what you're doing be your ambassadors as well. You get what I mean? And now, because I got to know this organization and then I saw that they have upcoming events for next year, I did my initiative. Hey, you have this kind of event. Who are the following, who will be the speakers? Is there a chance that, you get what I mean? Because most of the time, we were so used to waiting for that opportunity to happen. I don't believe in waiting for opportunity. I believe as a marketeer, we need to create that opportunity. There's no demand, create the demand. People are saying this, control the narrative. Don't wait for you to graduate for you to get the dream career. Start building your career while you're still in universities. Start building your personal brand so that when you want to work with big brands, they already see your value. Perfect example, when I was about to graduate, I'm not cum laude, magna cum laude, whatever flying colors that you have. But when we have a little sharing with my classmates who are graduating with higher colors, they told me, hey, this big company in the Philippines is offering me a starting salary. And I just said, think about it. Why I asked that person to think about it? Because that same company is offering me twice the starting salary. They don't even, and that company knows I have a failing subject, AF, failure due to absence. You know where I am if I'm not in my classroom. Does it matter? Grades will just be another mark. Sorry, I know this is my personal experience, but I'm speaking for those who are not just vying for good grades, right? Create case studies, create experiences, and it will be more valuable for you. The same goes for your brand. So for me, every time I do a marketing campaign, I become that market. It's more of like a role playing because most of the time when I'm seated in the large boardrooms with multinational companies, whenever they try to invite me and give my insights, you have all these people in coats, snobbish ones. Because they would think, we have the budget, I came from this company. And at the back of my mind, I have this notion that who are you behind? If you are removed from that brand, who are you? If you're not the VP of marketing of that MNCs, who are you? I have my personal brand. I can clearly stand and be proud of that. You get what I mean? But some people in the boardroom will just talk about their big brands without realizing their own brand. So what I'm saying here is this. If you want to be effective marketeer, especially for youth, be one with them. Don't just talk about them, but talk with them, interact with them. Don't just, outsource to a research company and then just tell them, okay, put the paper in my desk. I would usually, even though some companies would already outsource it, I would still do random visits. I'll still do my own personal FGDs because it's easier for us as marketing decision makers to create something if we have the first-hand info. We can revalidate. It's easy and it's more valuable. So what I'm saying here, don't stop at being just the marketeer. Be the market. Walk in their shoes, know what they're feeling, feel what they feel, and you'll be more valuable. So this is one of the things that I do. I like focus group discussions or random interviews. I worked with mostly tourism brands, but tourism is so dynamic and so fast moving that whatever I learn in this industry is applicable to retail and it affects different industries, even real estate. So be in an industry that is not just so fixed for your personal good as well. So when people think about youth, they equate us with, do you just want likes? Let's push a contest with the criteria of number of likes, number of comments. And then I would always tell them, hey, do you know that there's already bots and this and that can generate auto likes, auto comments? So youth marketing should go beyond like me, watch me, hire me. But more so, social media is not us being narcissistic. But for me in social media is all about meaningful engagements. And meaningful engagements can stand something for you. In my case, it boils down really to tourism marketing. I specialize now in tourism marketing because there's a lot of movement, it's very dynamic. But whatever, again, I learned from that is something that I can apply to different industries that would ask for my independent insights. The keyword is independent insights. The keyword is insightful experiences. Because we are in the field of marketing that somehow we try to automate a lot of things. Automation will make so many products and services very affordable, correct? So now, if you're being a marketing person who's very future-oriented as well, you will see how you can create higher value with automation or with human interaction. So while everybody is going with automation, I'm slowly focusing and leveraging on human interaction. Okay, pay this $100, you pay me $1,000. Because I know better how to interact with people. Right? For example, recently I booked with an airline and they just recently launched their avatar that can answer your inquiries and oh my God, I already sent so many messages that would receive the same reply. I got just so frustrated. So in terms of brand experience, was it more helpful? No, you just created another frustrated customer thinking that, hey, we officially launched our AI staff that can answer your inquiries. Like, no, not really. So again, whatever I'm sharing might be something that is off and not traditional or not what everybody is going to say, but I hope, these independent insights, these insightful experiences that I had will somehow give you a perspective on how you can create better leverage, better value for you as a young marketeers, for you as a young communication professionals, and also as a future brand builder. Okay? Again, not most of the time people talk about AI. I talk about CI. Connectional intelligence. Cultural intelligence. Robots, who program robots? Right? Humans. For example, some of you might be talking too fast or the pitch is high. For Filipinos, we might think that this person is not interested in talking to me. When in fact, if I use my CI, my cultural intelligence, and my connectional intelligence, then I would understand that, okay, Indians are just talking this fast. They're not angry, but they're just like that. You get what I mean? So again, focus on your connectional intelligence. Focus on your cultural intelligence. That would be very helpful as a marketeer. That will also help you navigate the future. Because whatever happens, may it be with robots, may it be, you're sent to a different country, CI, that two types of intelligence, cultural, connectional, and add communication, intelligence. 3 C's will really make a difference in your life as a brand marketeer. Okay? So people at the heart of marketing, that's what I believe at. Aside from technology, technology should only be used as a tool, but not at the center of everything that we do in terms of marketing. It's all about relationships. Again, for me, there's more value in harnessing that relationship. Yes, we can automate the CRM, the customer relationship manager, have a blast of emails, right? But how many of you would appreciate receiving a call not from an automated voice, but from an actual person, right? So again, it's all about the value. Create and share your own tales. Dr. Bathia talked about sustainability. So for me, my personal brand is also about this. Every time I collaborate with different brands, be it multinational companies, homegrown, I create my own tales. I share about the travel, the advocacy, the lifestyle, the events, and SDGs. At first, I thought, oh my God, SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, they might be very bookish. But then I just look at it, not even read the full paper, and just pinpointed what are the sustainable goals that really speaks a lot in my heart. I was able to choose 3. SDG number 4, quality education. SDG number 8, economic growth and decent job. SDG number 17, sustainable partnerships. So in everything I do as a marketeer, as a professional, and even on my personal capacity as just part of the community, it boils down to SDG 4, 8, 17. That's why I get different collaborations as well, okay? So this is one of the things that we do in terms of capitalizing marketing experience to young people. What we do now, I spearheaded the movement YCC Share Responsibly. We are always on social media. We keep posting anything that we feel like posting. And most of the time, it's all about rants. It's all about whatever we're not good or happy at, right? So what I'm saying is this. Let's educate them to use social media for their own advantage, for their own growth, and for their own community as well. So YCC is all about young content creators sharing responsibly, especially in tourism. For example, how many of you have thought of sharing what you ate this morning? What is dosa? What is samosa? You know, those are, you feel like very local thing, ordinary thing for you. But look at YouTube. How many people are talking about India as Indians? How many people are talking about India as foreigners? I haven't checked. You check. But so far, with my experience, every time I search about India, the first video blogs, the first write-ups that I would see are written by not Indians. So the point here is, who's marketing India? It should be you. You should be the one controlling your own narrative, right? So talk about South Indian food. Talk about North Indian food. Talk about the street food that you have. Because before I arrived in India last year, when people, some of my friends knew that I'm traveling to India, the first thing that they told me was like, hey, it's dirty. Second, hey, be careful, you might get raped. That's the hard reality. But I told them, hey, when I arrive, it's one of the most clean airport that I've been to, more clean than ours. Really. And I feel more safer when I'm here than walking in different parts of, some countries that I've been to. You get what I mean? So maybe you're not just utilizing your youth potential. You're not utilizing the time that you're on social media when in fact, as a whole, you can be promoting your brand, India. If you don't like to support Incredible India, just support your country, India. Tell me what you have here. So, okay? At the end of the day, for me, marketing is all about winning the hearts of people who love to share, be it online, offline. There's also a trend now because of data privacy, right? And some influencers making big bucks out of it and not being truthful with their reviews already. So in the Philippines, there's already a backlash in terms of influencer marketing. Even before that happened, I go away with the notion of tapping the big influencers. My focus is more on micro influencers. Meaning, I'm okay if you only have 100 followers. As long as you're talking authentically to that 100 followers. I'm not after one blogger, one influencer with 1 million followers that would just, post everything. Have you seen The Fire documentary in Netflix? The Fire Festival that never happened. That's a very nice case study. Because what they did, they already have a vision. In short, over-marketing, under-delivered miserably. And they use a lot of influencers. Yes, these influencers were able to drive the awareness, were able to drive maybe the sales. But now they're being sued as well. They're being called by courts. Because being an influencer entails a lot of responsibility. So either you're the influencer or you're the marketeer. Both of you have that heavy responsibility. That's why when we talk about sustainable marketing, I would say one word: authenticity. Be authentic, be genuine with what you're offering. And make sure that your operations deliver and over-delivers rather than under delivering and putting it into chaos. Okay? So word of mouth to word of mobile. Another happening for me is PM. In the Philippines, when we say, hey, PM mo na lang, PM, it means send it through messenger, private message, right? PM. So with that, for me, I don't have to do a lot of technical research in order for me to check what will be the future of marketing in terms of the market or in terms of the youth that I'm handling. I'll just listen to what they're saying and observe what they're doing. PM. They're sharing now, not publicly, but through the different group chats. There's more gossip happening in private message apps than what you are seeing in comment section. So it's not enough for brands nowadays to gauge how many interaction, how many saw your post. Because maybe some of them just copied the link, sent it to somebody, and then started a private conversation about your brand. Right? So please look for people that's not only publicly sharing their love for your brand, but they might be genuinely passionate about your brand without even being active online. Okay? So be resilient and a future-proof brand marketeer. Embrace the journey of transformation and understand human and community development. There's a lot of things happening, especially for India as well. Your government just, in 2017, 2018, I think, allocated 20 billion for Incredible India. How are you taking part of that budget? There's a lot of things that you can do. For MBA students, what can you offer that is aligned with the tourism industry? Or maybe somehow can contribute in that aspect. So for me, how can you tap that power of youth? Listen. Actively listen. Not only to what they are saying, but specifically to what they are not saying. Actively listen. Observe what they're doing, okay? So when building your brand experience, treat it as if you're nurturing a person's development. There's already a trend going, and a lot of the most innovative companies are focusing on human-centered approach, okay? So I hope you get this idea. And just like what we've executed in Sarawak, Malaysia, it's here. It's all about the involvement of the people, okay? So just to summarize all this, for me, for youth marketing, remember these elements. 4 E's of extraordinary brands. It's emotion. It's about the experience and engaging elements. What does your brand stand for? Does it stand for love? That it stands for sadness, for happiness? What is it that you're standing for, okay? And season it with personal touch. The youth marketing, we're in the period that we don't want to be generalized. That's why my insights will be based on the types of people that I've worked with, the types of brands that I've worked with. Do your own assignment. Know more about your customer. And it doesn't have to be you have to talk to 100 people. Maybe talk to one person at a time rather than asking for an FJD that is about 10 people or so. Okay? And this, top points for youth marketing. Technology is a tool to enhance the quality of your relationship. Advocate for something relevant and you're really passionate about, because there's the rise of advocacy marketing nowadays. And authenticity. Be authentic in what you're doing. Be passionate about it. And of course, people. Don't lose the focus on people. How would you like to be remembered as a marketeer, as a brand? In my case, I'd like to be remembered because of my smile. And as a future marketeer, as a future professional, come up with your own statement. Come up with the vision that people will remember you of, okay? Because it's easy to translate that to your brand, okay? So for me, I share my skills and my passion. I have my marketing mindset. I interact online and offline. And most especially with my Smile brand, I love what I do what I love, and I engage the community to do or explore their own and be part of that advocacy. So it's time for you to start your own journey, and this one will be a long day. I hope you learned something from my talk. Again, I'm Allison, Diyos Mabalos.